How was your weekend, Jay?
It was fine. It was all right. Just working as usual, and like you said, disappointing on Sunday. But since then, I mean, everything's been kind of cool. Got some few events coming up the next couple of days. Well, today and tomorrow. So I'm straight. I'm ready to get into the topics today. There's some straight topics I want to talk about. So
how was the Monster Jam?
I actually, you know what? I ended up not going. My girl got sick again. So we ended up not going. We ended up just staying in and relaxing or whatever. She hadn't been feeling good all week. So she had just she had a splint in her chest. I was telling y'all before. So they had removed it. So I think her body is getting used to being without it and stuff like that. So she was like in a lot of pain and stuff like that, and kind of recovering.
Oh,
yeah. So we had to cancel last minute. Yeah, I was ready to go. I had to end up selling the tickets. I'm like, She was like, you can go. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna go without you or whatever. I was kind of tired anyway. I be worn out. I be worn out after work. That's the key word there, gave.
I mean, look, what you do with them? Nothing.
No, I said I sold them.
They just did.
I said I sold them. Did you hear what I said? I said I sold the ticket.
Nope. You breaking up. I ain't hear a few things you said.
Yeah, I sold the ticket.
You could have gave them to me. We've been friends long enough. You could have gave them to me. Black people, I swear. Anyway, how you been since the last show?
I've been blessed, just like everybody else. Wasn't too happy with, the Super Bowl. A lot of answers. There wasn't an answer. A lot of questions, better yet. It needs to be answered. It needs to be accounted for afterwards. But besides that, I was blessed. For the most part, I was off that day. Those couple days. Went back yesterday, off another 2, man. It was like, it's been the best vacation I ever had in my life. So I'm rejuvenated. I'm energized and just really happy to be here to do the show today. So definitely ready for the show, too. A lot of things y'all going to hear. Y'all ain't used to hearing from me. But, yeah, it's starting to become more of a picture for me now. This picture is starting to be painted now.
Uh-oh. They done upset Hugh. Buried and went away. He was back. And he's ready for business.
Well, have you noticed though? He'd be pissed off like at least twice a month. Like he'd be straight for a while, and then they'd piss him back off. And then he'd be straight again, and then towards like the beginning or end of the month, he'd be mad as hell.
And you know what though? What's funny about it? This is not even work related. This is in a football related this time around.
No, I was going to say this football.
Oh, shit.
Right. Yeah, he got...
definitely going to hear some uncharacteristic things from me.
All right, well, let's get to this. Super Bowl review. Hugh, I'm going to let you kick it off.
Okay. Well, it ain't going to be no long pauses with me today. I'm just really pissed off, and I lost all faith in Bleacherz. I feel like right now the reason why Josh McDaniel is staying because Bleacherz time is ticking in New England. I give him this year, maybe next. Really don't see nothing after this contract being signed. I just feel like he lost the faith of all the guys in the locker room. He lost all the respect in them guys, too, and some of the things that was going on. I know they like to keep a lot of stuff in-house, and that's what they're good at. They don't want things to get crazy and unorganized like how the Bengals and how other teams or organizations are. I'm just going to stick with this topic, though. I just don't feel like right now that the team is starting to really drink his Kool-Aid anymore. He's getting up in age, and he's getting to the point where some of the things I feel like he's doing is inappropriate for that team. They appreciate the fact that you talk about the name on the front of the jersey, you don't talk about the name on the back of the jersey. But now a lot of questions are in the air, definitely after what he did. I'm not saying that would have saved the Super Bowl, but you get your number one cornerback, and Malcolm Butler, and bench him at the last minute. I've heard rumors too, Bo, and I was talking to you about it earlier in the week when they said that he was supposedly late for curfew. When he said he was sick, kind of bailed out like, yeah, I'm sick, and everybody thinking he's sick and trying to recover. He went out, skipped past curfew. They said he had weed in his possession. He was high at the time, and he lashed out on the coaches, and he had a breakdown. That's the rumors we heard, but he basically was really disappointed for not playing the Super Bowl and said they gave up on him. And he came with a statement that said none of that was true. From what we've known, I mean, maybe I might be wrong, but we know him as a stand-up guy in New England, Not only was he a Super Bowl hero, but he passed every expectation. And for him to get treated like that, it's like something else is going on. And definitely for other players, uncharacteristically, as I may say, too, Dante Hightower came to the media and spoke out, and Brandon Bronner as well, the former New England Patriot. And it was just weird to hear all this stuff start to spill out. But I definitely feel like it's not Brady, more Belichick. And I usually don't agree with some of the people like Skip Bayless on what he said, but I have to go with Skip 100% when he said that Brady gave up everything he had. Matt Patricia, and you might as well say the defensive guru, Bill Belichick, let him down. I have to agree with him 100%. I normally don't do stuff like that. I kind of keep whatever I feel to myself when it comes to people saying things on shows, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff and controversy that went on before that game. Not saying, like I said, it would have saved the game, but it definitely would have helped. But just don't really feel like right now that Belichick got that locker room right now. And I definitely feel like it was a smart move for keeping Josh McDaniels because I'm ready to see him go. And that's basically all I got to say.
Jay?
I thought all in all, it was a very good Super Bowl. I thought the Super Bowl was very good. Very well played by both teams. Both teams have issues on defense. It ultimately came down to who could get like the most stops at the right time, and it seemed like the Eagles just got the right stops at the right time. But it really seems to me that the Patriots just looked real off on defense. It looked like Belichick and Patricia wasn't gelling well. Like something was wrong. Something was off about their whole game plan or something. Like something was wrong. But when you look at it though, Philly came to play ball. Like they played the Super Bowl like the Super Bowl should be played against the Patriots. This was the way Atlanta was supposed to finish the Patriots off last year. And I feel like, like Philly won the Super Bowl that Atlanta was supposed to win. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be, I mean, I know we'll get into the Brady Belichick thing next, but when you really look at it, the Patriots lost 2 straight Super Bowls, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were on the verge of losing last year. And then this year they lose. So, like I said, I think it was a good game. You can't look at Brady and say, oh, it was Brady in the offense, whatever dude threw for over 500 yards. Threw for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Gronk had a pretty decent game. Hogan had a good game. Like the game was very exciting. This Super Bowl kind of reminded me of when the Patriots played the Carolina Panthers. I forget the year, but that was I think their second Super Bowl win.
Was it 2003?
No, because their first one
season.
Their first one was in 2002. So, or was it in 2002? I can't remember. I have to go back and look. But that's the game it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Carolina and Patriots game. How it was just going back and forth and just a straight up heavyweight title fight. And I'll take my hats off to the Eagles. Congratulations to them. First ever Super Bowl win. Kevin Hart was acting the fool. Like they had like a YouTube thing of like the reactions of like the famous people who from Philly or have Philly connections. They had Kobe Bryant watching the game at home. Kevin Hart, Bradley Cooper, all them guys. Will Smith, they had Will Smith celebrating or whatever. So congrats to them. But all in all, though, I really enjoyed the Super Bowl. Didn't really care too much about the commercials. I had about 2 or 3 commercials that was okay, decent, but and the halftime show was whack. So, but Super Bowl was cool. Super Bowl was all right. He could have kept Justin Timberlake.
I mean, I think Justin was okay, but I ain't like that Prince thing. Like, y'all, everybody know Prince was against stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh wait, he dead, so now we can use his image. And you know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't have wanted that. And Prince is not taking the stage to nobody. If Prince was at the Super Bowl, it was gonna be Prince at the Super Bowl, not Justin Timberlake nowhere around. Like Prince and Justin ain't on no level, nowhere near close to nothing. And that was just, and like people like, they like, it's disrespectful. It was. I'm sorry, it was disrespectful. You know Prince had won one for that. Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
You know that's not who he was.
Yeah, I heard Justin Timberlake, when Prince was actually living, I heard Justin Timberlake had some stuff to say about Prince. Like, they were kind of, like, Prince didn't like Justin Timberlake. Like, they were kind of, at odds ends with each other or whatever. And then, Justin Timberlake, go ahead, like you said, Monique. Prince gone, now you want to do a tribute to him or, he tried to do a hologram, I heard. But the family was like, no. Like, nah, like, you can use some other footage, but do a hologram. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I agree with you on that one. Like, nah, just do your set, dude, and get on up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
You should have had a Backstreet Boy come up there with you or something. Brought Janet back. Hard to keep clothes on or something. Like, come out with Britney Spears or somebody, not Prince. Like,
not Britney.
But anyway. So we basically, this whole beginning of the show is about to be about the Patriots. Okay, so just get ready. It's about to be packed for the next 1, 2, 4 topics is Patriots. So just know that. We might have some stuff overlap, but hey, it happens. So let's talk about Brady and Bleacherz. So a lot of people are like you said, Hugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for Belly to go. And some people like, it's both of them. Tom needs to retire. He needs to retire, pass the reins on. But we know Tom not going nowhere. We know that. Tom already said no. Last year, are you about to retire? No, I still see 3, 4, 5 more years. I'm not going nowhere. I don't think it was Tom that lost the Super Bowl. But
not at all.
Let's talk about them. Go ahead, Hugh. What you think? You think they lost their touch?
I definitely think Belichick lost his touch because these guys that he's coaching is grown. A lot of the stuff happened before with the team when he had brought in other guys from other organizations before when he brought in was it a Darius Thomas? It was one of the linebackers from the Baltimore Ravens. He brought him to New England, and he had a couple other guys from other teams come into New England, and it was around the time when it was a snowstorm. And I remember this time, good as day, because Randy Moss was with the team. The guys both came in, Darius Thomas and Randy Moss. They came in late, because, come on now, it's a freaking snowstorm. When that happened, it was only like a few minutes late, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes late between the both of them. Belichick kicked them out of the meeting. Later, Randy said, well, I knew we was going to have a meeting. I didn't know that it was going to be that bad as far as storms. I'm not used to being somewhere like this, to have storms this bad on the regular. I'm like, man, you're from Minnesota, but at the same time, he apologized as a man and said, I'm sorry about that. It won't happen again. Darius Thomas was like, man, I don't know why he's trying to send us home and kick us out the league, man. This dude, who do you think he is? I think this is crazy. That it's a snowstorm out there. What can I do? I can't stop it from snowing. It's going to happen eventually. But I just feel like, you trying to do that and assault us and try to disrespect us in front of our fellow teammates, this is crazy, And when he said that, he ended up getting put off the team. They put him off the team. He never was heard of again. At the time, I feel like Belichick had that type of stroke. But now, a lot of the things he's doing is very questionable. I don't know what's really going on. Maybe a lot of the things that happened with the Patriots, with the Garoppolo, and, him going to San Francisco and all this melee must be a part of it. But, yes, I really feel like Brady still has it. I feel like I was disappointed still am with the Garoppolo's ordeal, but they'll be all able to get one, maybe in the second round, a quarterback. But this don't feel like people are really messing with Belichick, because when a few players come out and say things like this, like, well, the locker room is divided after this happened, and you can tell, the team wasn't meshing. Who knew that Malcolm Butler wasn't even going to play? He took the first team reps the whole time. Yeah, he was feeling sick with flu-like symptoms, but he took all the first reps. And then at the last minute, everybody found out he's not playing. He put him on special teams. And then you put Eric Rowan, who was getting torched most of the whole game. And that's when Malcolm Butler flourished. I feel like he would have had a better game than Eric Rowan. I think that it probably would have been better for him, not taking away and saying that would have helped in any way for them to win the Super Bowl, but it would have gave them a better chance. And I just feel like now them signing Josh McDaniels writing on the wall that they don't really have that much faith in Belichick like that no more. Not saying he's not a great coach, one of the best coaches of all time, but his way, his alpha omega ways now is starting to run thin on people. And that's why I think where him and Matt Patricia just didn't mesh, what James was saying earlier. I think they had a little, melee or something was going on between the two to where the defense just wasn't clicking. And I think a lot of those guys, when you hear about the locker room being divided, that was part of it. Because, the way they played like they wasn't really encouraged or enthused to be out there and play. It seemed like, they were pissed off in a way, not giving them any, making no excuses or anything. We win with pride and we lose with pride. But I just feel like something wasn't there. Like Jake said, something was missing. And not saying they're a great defense neither, because we've seen in the beginning of the year how poor they played. Both teams played poor defense, but it just didn't seem like they were there. That whole team seemed like they wasn't used to playing a big game. And something was off. And I definitely think that it's starting to play a toll on these players, how Belichick is and how he, handle his business.
I hope they get it together. Jay, what you think of this? You think Tom and Bill losing their touch?
I think it's it's coming down. I agree with you. I think it's coming down to Bill Belichick. When you look at Tom Brady, the last 2 Super Bowls, he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal the last 2 Super Bowls. We saw what he did last year against the Falcons. They were down 28-3, and he pretty much single-handedly brought them back, with his leadership and his play and making sure everything was running the way it was supposed to run on offense. And his play, I think it inspired the defense too. You know what I'm saying? And they were against one of the most high-powered offenses we've seen probably since the Rams. Back in the day, the 99 Rams or something back in the day.
Yeah, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah. And we get to this year against the Eagles, which, everybody was kind of down it, okay, Carson Wentz down or whatever. The Eagles wasn't really even supposed to be in the Super Bowl, according to some people. Once Carson Wentz went down, everybody was kind of counting them out. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that whole dynamic, and then the run that the Eagles went on with beating the Falcons in the divisional round, and then coming back the next week and throttling the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game, and then coming into the Super Bowl, you're thinking, okay, this Nick Foles' first Super Bowl. He peaked. He peaked last, 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. So he will not have the performance that he had this time around. And I think that's where it came down to Bill Belichick. I think he was being cocky. I really do. I think he was being cocky, and I think he was being stubborn and was waiting for Nick Foles to gift him something. You look back at the Super Bowl where the Patriots played the Seahawks, and instead of running Marshawn Lynch, Pete Carroll decides, hey, okay, let Russell Wilson throw it in there. And the guy that they benched for the whole Super Bowl made the game-saving interception, Malcolm Butler, towards the end. So I think that was a little bit of Belichick's, I want to say, genius there, because I think he probably felt or baited the Seahawks into that. But it was like nothing was off with Philly at all. I mean, their defense was kind of shaky, you know what I'm saying, against the Patriots' offense. But their offense was on point. They didn't struggle at all. The offense didn't struggle at all. And like I said, with the last 2 Super Bowls, Belichick, it's like people are kind of figuring him out a little bit. And Doug Peterson, which is the Eagles head coach, pretty much stood up to Belichick in this game and took risks. He coached like he really wanted to win the game. You look back on the 4th and 1s, he 4th and goal right before halftime, and then 4th and 1 right after, halftime in the third quarter after the Patriots scored. He went for a 4th and 1 and got it. So Belichick was like, oh, this dude's not scared of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then Hugh alluded to it earlier, how Belichick was being a little stubborn. Like, at that point, dude, it's about winning the Super Bowl. You got to play Malcolm Butler. Dude, Eric Rowe was getting ripped to shreds. It didn't matter who he was checking. When they had him on Alshon Jeffrey was ripping him apart. Then they put him on Nelson Aguilar. He was ripping him apart. Like, at that point, this Super Bowl on the line. Forget your pride. Forget what points you're trying to prove, dude. Malcolm Butler, he could have, I believe he could have made a difference. Because whenever they switched up, you didn't hear Nelson Aguilar's name in the first half. That's because Stephon Diggs was on him. I mean, not Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore was on it. So they switched it up, put Stephon Gilmore on Alshon Jeffrey. You ain't hear Alshon Jeffrey name no more the rest of the game.
Not at all.
So you change it up, son, to somebody who knows how to play on that big stage, knows how to get under the receiver's skin and clamp down and at least get a little bit of momentum and a little bit of aggression to the defense. And it was like Belichick, and I think Matt Patricia had an issue with that. I really did. Like, usually they always stand next to each other on the sideline. You look at Belichick and Patricia in this game, by the second quarter, they were so far apart, it was crazy. Like, I think they were pissed off. I think Patricia asked him, hey, man, we got to put Malcolm in. They were getting ripped to shreds. Like, we got to put Malcolm Butler in. You know what I'm saying? Belichick's probably like, nope, not going to happen because of whatever reason. So I think that his ways, I think the culture is still there in New England. That's why I think they kept Josh McDaniels. We're going to talk about that later. But I don't know. I think Belichick's time is up. They say he's going to coach next year. Fine, they probably want to give him a nice little send off. But I don't think they want to really play for him no more. You look at him and Tom Brady was beefing earlier this year because Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's more Belichick, the one that's losing his touch. I think he's just getting old. You know what I'm saying? Old, stubborn, in his ways, don't want to change. Like, so it's messing with the chemistry and the dynamic of the team. So I would say, it's Belichick. Belichick is the one with the issues that's kind of falling off, losing his touch a little bit.
All right, I agree. So, and for everybody that think, oh, they lost the Super Bowl, wow, they'll be back next year in the Super Bowl. Right. just get all your cheering out now because it's Tom Brady. He is the GOAT, and GOAT is good. So just sit back and wait.
And prepare for that debt to be stacked too, because y'all know in free agency, man, they don't like to be humiliated. So I definitely see them doing one of those things they did the 2007 season. They're gonna go crazy in free agencies like you never seen before, and they're definitely going to stack the deck. And then look at it too.
Oh yeah,
they still got Kenny Britt for a year. So a lot of crazy stuff going to happen between now and keep your eyes attached to the TV.
Yeah. So let's talk about Malcolm Butler. We've talked about him in the first two topics, but let's really get into the whole Malcolm Butler thing. So as we said before, Malcolm Butler was out, did not play in the Super Bowl. And, you know, like he was saying, because he's supposed to be late for the curfew and all this other crap. Malcolm Butler spoke yesterday, and this is what he said. Part of what he says. He says, during Super Bowl week, I never attended any concert, missed curfew, or participated in any of the ridiculous activities being reported. They are not only false.
Yes.
Oh, always having technical difficulties. They are not only false but hurtful to me and my family. And, you know, it's messed up because it seems like he's saying, like, a goodbye, and because he goes on to say, although I wish I could have contributed more to help my team win, I have to get ready for the next opportunity. Moving forward, I will do what I have always done to work hard and prepare for next season to be the best I can be on and off the field. And so he's been with the Patriots for 4 years. And, you know, to me, I was like, dang, is he leaving? Like, is that his plan? Like, y'all, you say, fuck me and loud me, and so maybe I should be out of here? I don't know. But Tom Brady said, hey, I got your back. That's the GOAT does. He know the truth. Tom knows there was a bunch of bull. What y'all think about the Malcolm Butler thing? Like, do you think he's going to leave, or what? Jay?
You know what? When you look at before the season and stuff went down, Hugh, you can attest to this too, man. They tried to trade him. They tried to trade him to the Saints, and the whole Brandon Cooks thing or whatever. They tried to trade him. So I think some stuff was going on with him and Belichick like before. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all of this went down. But I was looking at some statistics, and Malcolm Butler was on the field like 90-something% of the plays through the whole year. Like, he played just about the whole season, including in the playoffs. So now you get to Super Bowl Sunday, and dude is thinking he's about to start. And then you come to him right before the national anthem and kickoff, and not even inform him, hey, dude, you're not going to start today. You tell him he's not going to play at all. That's why you see how emotional he was on the sideline. Because I was wondering, like, what's wrong with him? I'm like, Pink ain't singing that good. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Pink and her voice, but I'm like, it's not like Whitney Houston singing, you know, her rendition of the national anthem at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Whitney or nothing. So why is he crying? So everything started coming out during the game. Like, he was informed he ain't playing at all. Then he says, you know, I don't know. He said, I think they lost faith in me or whatever. Like I said, there's so many reports coming out. I don't know what's right or wrong. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Browner, I know something went down with Malcolm Butler and Belichick. Something happened Belichick didn't like. And then Belichick tried to come out and give a bogus-ass reason and say he gave like 4 reasons. He was like he wasn't feeling good. He had a bad practice week. He had some disciplinary reasons. Like, he was throwing everything out. And then Malcolm Butler was like, that's not true. The reports you're hearing about what happened isn't true. So, to be honest, I don't know what happened. I mean, I think Malcolm Butler is going to end up leaving if they can't reconcile something. Because like I said, they even wanted him on the team, though, because they tried to trade him. They really tried to aggressively try to trade him earlier in the year. So, I don't know. This whole situation is fishy and dicey to me. Like, it's not right. It's not sitting well with a lot of people. I know it's not sitting well with Malcolm Butler and most of his teammates. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tom Brady even came out and said, I support you. He ain't say, well, Coach, I think Coach made the right decision. Tom Brady, like, I support him. So I think a lot of shit is going on in the Patriots locker room. You know what I'm saying? That is kind of coming out or whatever. But yeah, this was just this was bad all around. Like, just that whole decision and this whole bullshit may have cost the Patriots a Super Bowl. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would think that you would want everything to be, smooth. You don't want to throw a wrench in something that's been going good the whole year. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he didn't play it every game. He was one of the reasons that they won last year. So why would you not have him in the Super Bowl this year for some BS? What did he do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if the reality, anybody, anytime you got a big, like when my son do track, even if he pissed me off, I'm not going to come at him a certain way right before he about to go jump these hurdles or go run this 400. You know what I'm saying? Because I want him to be focused. But as soon as he finished, then y'all going to get in your ass. But before that, it's all positive. I love you. You Superman. Remember you Superman. You know, you got this and all, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it got to do to make sure it's a success. Why would you be like, oh, yeah, by the way, you're not playing? Like, wait, what? Okay. All right. But like you said, they said at the end, you know, after the game, he was like, the Patriots gave up on me. Fuck it. It is what it is. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Fuck y'all, basically. You know, he apologized, you know what I'm saying, for that. But, you know what I mean, he was in his feelings, and he had a reason to be in his feelings. So, I mean, if I'm in here doing this, and then you be like, oh, no, never mind. You're not going to play. You'll put this loser
in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. It's not even like the AFC, the NFC championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute.
The Super Bowl. And then having to stand there, Monique. Having to stand there and watching the play on the field and knowing you can do something and make a difference and you can't do it. Like, that's hurtful. I would slap the hell out of Belichick.
Well, I'm sure he's getting it. I'm sure the honor is in his head.
In that situation right now that y'all talking about, too, is I feel like not only you have Brady siding with him and you're hearing the reports come out with Brandon Bronner and you heard Dante Hightower making comments about what happened and what was going on to reflect the Super Bowl, I feel like not only is it to the point where when you said, Jay, there's something fishy and something going on there, I know that's a fact. Because one thing I could say, Jay, a lot of people didn't know this. I know you probably heard, or you might be shocked right now. The reason why at first they was trying to heavily pursue trading Malcolm Butler because they were dangling a little fish in front of New England, and that big fish was a tuna. At the time, Pete Carroll was getting tired of a lot of the stuff that Richard Paterno was saying. You know, he's a stand-up black man in the NFL, and he doesn't bite his tongue, and he say what he feel like was on his mind. And you know, a lot of coaches don't like that. Definitely when it's a black person with a voice like that. A lot of Seattle Seahawks have that voice. Okay, so what happened was when that rumor came out, and you know they were trying to get Brandon Cooks, and they was trying to throw Malcolm Butler in the trade. A lot of people probably didn't know because they were talking and they were trying to negotiate with the Seahawks. It was in negotiations to try to get Richard Sherman to New England. A lot of people didn't know about that. And I can't vouch for Belichick, but damn, if they could have got Richard Sherman, I definitely would have lost that much sleep. But still, what's fair is fair. I don't know what happened when they came and talked about that contract when Butler was trying to stay because they was definitely trying to re-sign him. But then you just throw in his face Stephon Gilmore, which Stephon Gilmore at the beginning of the season was shaky. He didn't know the language of New England's defense. But once he really got intact, that guy been lights out, man. And him and Butler have been lights out against a lot of players. Definitely Stephon Gilmore is a little taller, a little stronger and more aggressive. But they say that Malcolm Butler's like an Energizer bunny. He will not stop. He will stay on your ass. He would nag and push and touch and punch and try to bite and claw at the ball. You cannot get him to let up. And you got a bit more like that on defense, and you just basically say, hey, man, you can't play. I believe, like you said, something came out, first off, when it came to him trying to sign a new contract. Then you slapped him in the face to give us Stephon Gilmore like a 5-year, $65 million contract. They never gave a cornerback that type of money besides my man Stephen McCourty. because he is their heart and soul of their defense. But you get a guy who was on another team last year and give him that type of money to go in New England. That's when I was like, the writing's on the wall. They're about to try to get rid of Malcolm Butler. And then the whole melee and the argument and the beef when they were saying, and this was with Bleacherz now, what I was hearing in the locker room. Because, Mike Lombardi was always his boy. He was one of the execs at one point, was in Cleveland, and he followed Bill Belichick to New England. Okay. He was trying to say that he wanted that star-type money, or he wanted to talk his way out of New England for having a really big contract. And every time they tried to agree with him on a really good contract, he was like, no, I want this much. I want to make as much as the top 3 cornerbacks are making. And they saying that he was being unreasonable. That was the rumor to say for them to try to ship him off to New Orleans. And then that's when we heard about this with Stephon Gilmore getting a big contract. That was another slap in the face. They had problems at the beginning of the year. Remember, they were saying they didn't think that he was really playing as good as he's supposed to. Remember, at the beginning of the year, they wasn't starting him at some point. So, yeah, this friction went on all through the season. And then for you to just say at the last minute, where he definitely was taking the starting reps for the Super Bowl, to say that he's not playing. And now you hear Brady got his back. You got Bronner talking amongst his behalf. You got Dante Hightower making, statements, things that New England players have never done before. And then you hear Brady saying, I got your back. I really feel like not just 1 or 2 people. I think damn near 85% of that locker room gave up on Bill Belichick, man. I think a lot of them not, playing that no more because they're grown men, dude, and they're not drinking his Kool-Aid no more. Because they're looking at it like, man, you're not really doing nothing to help us win. You're basically out here to make us lose the best way you possibly can. And that's exactly what I feel like happened in the Super Bowl. Because too many strange things came out after the Super Bowl. And not, like I said, you got to give credit to the Eagles. They took what they had, and they went out and they got that Super Bowl. But at the same time, you've seen the whole game how off New England was looking, definitely on defense. You can't say anything about the offense, but think about it. If the defense did solid, too, that could have been the Super Bowl for them, the Super Bowl victory. Why do you think they were so quick to let Matt Patricia ass leave? At the same time, Matt Patricia probably wanted to leave because they wasn't meshing, him and Bill. They usually be right there side by side, hugging each other, happy, celebrating with each other. They was nowhere near each other in the Super Bowl. He was glad to get out of New England. But they sweetened the pot for Josh. They said, Josh, man, I know Kraft like you like another son to me, man. You've been here too long. We don't want to see you leave again.
Hey.
And then they
Speaking of Josh McDaniels, let's talk about him. You did a nice segue there, Hugh. I know you about to bring him in. So let's talk about that. Instead of going to the Colts as a head coach, a little more money, he decided to stay as assistant coach of the Patriots. Now, he's not going to get as much money. They're giving him a little more money. He's not getting as much money as he would have as the coach, but he decided to stay. You think that was a good move for him? And how shady was that that the coach had already announced that he was about to be their head coach? They've already hired coaches under him, other coaching staff under him that thought they were going to play for him, that have already signed contracts to play, the coach for the coach. How shady of him was that? Was that for him to just do that to the coach? Hugh, go ahead.
I love it because, I'll never forget that whole Deflategate situation. And one of the players, DeQuell Jackson, basically said that it was all just blew up and it was blown out of proportion when everything happened. And I still feel like Robert Kraft saying, I feel like they all saying, we'll never forget what y'all tried to do to us in our organization at the time. And that was just one of those, punch them in the mouth. I think Chris Ballard, the GM right now, was mad as hell when that happened. When you guys get a chance, look at that report. He's pissed. He said his piece. out of anger and dropped the mic and ran off, basically saying the rivalry back on. Like, man, you got to win a game or two to become a rivalry. This ain't like the Peyton Manning days when they won some games, I mean, you guys haven't won anything. And I think more or less, to make the long story short, so Jay can get on, I just feel like you don't have faith in Andrew Luck. I'm not saying Andrew Luck wasn't a great player, but he's injured all the time. That could be one of those injury busts, but he just don't have faith that he'll be healthy. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, one of his guys is over there, he can train him up, but I still just don't feel like he has faith in that team. It's not enough that they've done over there to make him feel like he'll be comfortable being a head coach, neither. So I feel like it was a good move. But like we said, all of us just said it. I think he's about to take the reins soon because they didn't sign or re-sign Belichick after this year. I think he got maybe a year or so left. But after that, I think that they're definitely going to have Josh McDaniels be the coach, which is well-deserved because I just really feel like I said, I don't have faith in Belichick.
All right. Jay, what you think it is Paul McDaniels?
He, this reminds me of something. I don't know if you watched it yet, Hugh, but the 30 for 30, the two Bills.
I saw that.
Yeah. Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. I didn't know that history like that. Like, I didn't even know Belichick was on that the defense coordinator. I didn't know he was on the staff with Parcells when the Giants won back in the day. I didn't know that.
Both Super Bowls.
So yeah. So he followed Parcells everywhere except for the Dallas job or whatever. But he followed him to the Patriots, and then he followed him to the Jets, and then once Parcells was like, can't do this no more, Bill Belichick was supposed to be his successor. He was supposed to be right behind Parcells to take over. So he was really supposed to step in New England before Pete Carroll came there right after Bill Parcells. But Belichick left with Parcells to stay with him when he went to the Jets. So this kind of reminds me of that with Josh McDaniels. The same thing. Like, Belichick accepted the New York Jets head coaching job, and then went to the press conference and told him he was done. Like, I'm stepping down already. Like, he didn't even day on the job. Like, he was like, I'm gone. And then a couple of days later, he accepted the New England Patriots head coaching job. So,
real quick, Jay, real quick.
Go ahead.
Quick. The Washington Post got a headline that said Bill Belichick's disciple Josh McDaniels pulls a Bill Belichick on the Colts. As you were saying that, I pulled this up on my screen, and this little popped up. The Washington Post right there. Yeah. You're like, oh, you pulled the Bill. Yeah, that was all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same. The same exact thing, and it is what it is. Like, the writing is on the wall. Like, this is the person that Robert Kraft wants to succeed Bill Belichick. And I think that Josh McDaniels knew that once Matt Patricia took the Detroit Lions job, because they said Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick are kind of similar. And I want to say in not in personality, but when it comes to organizing stuff, like organizing all that type of stuff. And McDaniels is right there, but not as close as Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick are. So once he took that job, Josh McDaniels was like, oh, okay, like, I'm next in line. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the man. I'm next in line now. So I think he thought about that long and hard and was like, do I go somewhere where I don't really know how the organization is? I don't know how they're going to treat me. I don't know, you know, what tools they're going to give me to rebuild or whatever. Or should I deal with somebody I know and may give me the GM job too with the head coaching job, just like Bill Belichick has. So I'll be in control of who I draft and who I put on the team and that type of stuff. And McDaniel's a young guy. So no telling how long he could be there. And him and Tom Brady has a relationship as well. So I think this will help Tom Brady play, you know, out the remainder of what he's going to play too. Because they're so familiar with each other and they have a real close relationship. So I really think this is Bill Belichick's last year coming into this 2018 season. I think he's gonna step away. I don't think Bill Belichick kind of don't want to. I don't think he really want to do it no more. Like he was old and tired. Like he was real tired, worn out at times. Like I just think he don't want to. He don't want to deal with it no more. But he want to make sure the franchise is left in good hands because him and Mr. Kraft has a very good relationship. From what I've heard, they have a good relationship. They don't see eye to eye on everything, but they have a good relationship. So I really think that's the issue here, Monique and Hugh. I think he didn't take that because and they said that Mr. Kraft called Josh McDaniels and talked to him and was telling him like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like coercing him to stay. And then he had a long Josh McDaniels said he had a long talk with Bill Belichick. The day before he went and told the coach, hey, I'm not, whatever. Well, so, yeah, Bill Belichick, I'm pretty sure he told him, hey, I'm done after this upcoming year, man. The keys to the car going to be yours. So, you might want to stay. You know what I'm saying? Because the culture is already built here. You don't have to build nothing. You don't have to, none of that. That's almost like a father leaving his son the house when, you know, the father get another home or go to retire somewhere in another state or whatever. Son, house paid for, all yours. You ain't got to do nothing, no mortgage payments, no nothing. It's already set up for you. So this pretty much the same thing, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I don't know. Good luck, Josh. Take over if you can. The time will be there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
he definitely will take over.
We're still talking about the Patriots. One more time, and we talk about the Lions. And should they be nervous getting Matt Patricia as their head coach? Now, what y'all was saying, like how him and Billy are usually, you know, right there next to each other, you know, during the games or whatever. And maybe he was like, well, you know, you a Lions now. Like, you a Lion now. You're not a Patriot no more. You know, you already signed the dotted line, and you just here for, you know, this is your last game. Like, you know, maybe that could have been some of the tension or whatever. But do you think the Lions need to be worried? And do you think fans should not expect much just because he's coming from the Patriots? Jay?
You know what? I got in a couple of arguments. I'm going to make this short. I got in a couple of arguments with people, and they were, this who the Lions picked as they coach, and this stupid, educated stuff from people who are emotionally, like, unstable when it comes to sports. Like, I can't deal with people like that. Like, they just blurt out irrational shit about sports that don't make any type of goddamn sense. And this, to me, didn't make any sense. Because I'm like, I asked one guy, because he was like, he wouldn't take Matt Patricia or whatever. You know, he gave up 41 points in the Super Bowl, all this shit. So I said, well, would you take Bill Belichick? Because I had mentioned Matt Patricia won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots as defensive coordinator. So he says, hey, his past accolades don't even matter to me. So I said, would you take Bill Belichick then? Oh, and that's a stupid question. I said, how's that a stupid question when this is the same guy? Bill Belichick is over the dude that won the Super Bowls with him. So, and I was like, Bill Belichick could have easily threw out Matt Patricia's game plan. And as we're finding out, the game plan wasn't really the problem. It was the in-house crap that was going on with the Patriots the week of the Super Bowl. That was going down that really divided the whole team and especially the defense and everything. You know what I'm saying? The game planning for it, I think, messed everything up. So I think the Lions should be encouraged because of the structure they're getting in their front office. They have Bob Quinn there, who's been around the Patriots for the last 15 years before, you know what I'm saying, these last couple of years with with the Lions. Then you get in somebody who been knowing Bob Quinn for years, which is Matt Patricia, and he's coming from the same organization that's used to winning Super Bowls, used to knowing the formula and the things that it takes to build a winning organization. So I really feel like Lions fans and the Detroit Lions organization should be encouraged. Everybody should be encouraged that this guy has taken this job or whatever. Because, like I said, he could have stayed. He didn't have to come there. He was in a good place. I think he's going to make some drastic changes here, and I think we're going to see it like sooner rather than later. I really do.
All right, Hugh, what you think?
I think that that move right now will definitely help the Lions because it's like people are looking at it like, well, yeah, man, how many points he gave up and he did this and he did that. But when you look at it, I feel like still what he was able to do to help out and how bad they played this year to getting them back to the point where they look like they were when they were in the Super Bowl, the time when they had the hit squad with Brandon Bronner and Darrelle Revis was on the team. They were lights out. They wasn't giving up many points. It was just like Jay said, that in-house bickering and fighting kind of divided that team and put them in that position. And this was like, we thought that they were going to explode that first game with the Titans. And then they went on a run those last 2 games, came back and beat, Jacksonville. And I was like, well, man, maybe they passed their differences. But then the whole Malcolm Butler and all that stuff came out. But I still feel like Patricia's a good coach. A lot of people are upset, and they lashed out. Definitely some Patriot fans. I know I was a little upset with the game and kind of looked at Patricia. But now, as you look at the writing on the wall and you look at the big picture, a lot of that happened because of the bickering and the beefing in the locker room. So, yeah, I still feel like he'll be a great coach over there. And then, like Jay said, they wanted some foundation. Now they finally got it. You got Bob Quinn, who used to be over there with New England for a long time in that organization, used to win it. Matt Patricia, winning Super Bowl coach. And I think they're trying to get the right formula in Detroit. They're trying to have that winning formula. And once you get that, it's definitely like a disease. Man, they're going to spread that all through the players, give them that winning attitude. And I think they'll flourish for this. So I think it was a good idea for them to do what they did. Not only that, it's going to help the Lions in the long run. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope the positivity and the winning spirit that they have over there in New England will transfer to the Lions. Because Lord knows we need it. And, they didn't have a bad season. But we need to get past the first round of the playoffs. We need to wreck the city because the Lions went to the Super Bowl. Like,
that's what I'm scared of, Monique.
Flip some cars. But see, you know what? I was looking at that. I was like, see, if New England would have won, you wouldn't have seen no car flipping because winners don't have to do that. They're used to winning.
Right.
But when you're not used to winning, then you destroy your shit. So, unfortunately, if the Lions made it to AFC or NFC play a championship game, we would destroy the city. I mean, shit. And I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad because, I mean, damn. It's been, you know how, a lot of black people, I can't wait I want to be alive to see a first black president. You got Lions fans that want to say, I want to be alive to see the Lions win the Super Bowl. Like,
right. Or at least go. You have 80-year-old men out in the street trying to flip over they hover around. Yeah.
They would be out in the street, face painted and everything. But we deserve that. And the police didn't say shit because everybody in the country know that Detroit football has sucked for many, many, many years. We ain't do nothing. We had the greatest running back in the world. Like, we just suck. So I feel if we do go, and I would not be mad at Detroiters if they, tore up a little something. Just tear up Dan Gilbert stuff. Not, not the other shit. Mess up his shit. Not, the rest of us. Don't go to the neighborhoods. I shouldn't say that.
I was going to say, Monique.
Don't mess up nobody's stuff. Be careful, celebrate peacefully and safely, and just be happy we got there. But I did want to say that about the Eagles fans. Like, come on now. You got to win in style. Patriots, they don't do that. Ghosts don't have to tear up their city. That's like when people get their tax money, get a lot of tax money at one time, and they just ball out, and then 2 weeks later they ask you for $5 because they ain't pay for gas in their car.
Right.
It's like that. That's how it is. But yeah, one day, hopefully Matt can, Matt can get us to the NFC Championship. Hopefully, something somewhere near the Super Bowl.
I got something real quick.
Good luck, Matt. Go ahead.
I got something real quick. Bleacher Report just sent me something that said, headline, Belichick to mentor McDaniels. Said Belichick plans to teach McDaniels inner workings of Patriots, including roster construction and cap management. Told you. That's what it was about.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely ready to go, and I'm thankful.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it was basically he about to take, he stayed because he's supposed to take over, and that it's not in writing, but, that's basically the plan. So, hey, rock out with Scott out, my brother.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at the dynasty. Anyway, guess what, guys? We'll talk about Patriots again, just real quick. So, the NFL End of the Year Award happened on the 3rd, the night before the Super Bowl. And who was MVP? The GOAT, Mr. Tom Brady, of course. Who else? Who else would be the MVP? So, and he made history by being the oldest. That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest MVP-er. MVP-er, that's funny. MVP recipient at 40. Go Tom. I mean, like Aaliyah said, age ain't nothing but a number. I'm throwing down ain't nothing but a thing. Oh, So yeah, let's talk about it. So first we got, of course, most valuable player is Tom Brady. Then we have the offensive player of the year is I like his name, Todd Gurley. I'm so childish because I laugh at the word poop. This man's name. Anyway. So yes, what y'all think about that? You think Todd Gurley deserves it? Defensive player of the year? Hugh?
I believe Todd Gurley definitely did because he changed the game of football. Not only is he, because most times with running backs, their problem is they're one-dimensional. You can either catch, but you can't really run that well between the lines or like between going straight through the middle. And most times you got to bounce on the outside or, it's something that's always missing or you can't catch worth a damn. With him, he could do both. He had great receiving yards after the catch. He could bounce outside if he had to, or he could use just pure power. And, yeah, I feel like he did a great job of what he did. I think that for sure Carson Wentz getting injured kind of helped influence a lot of these guys on what happened with these growths. But you can't take away from the guys and what they have. And I definitely like Todd Gurley and what he's done. Definitely was a big believer in him coming out of school, too. So definitely glad to see how well he's performing on the big stage. And that's still going to be one of them teams to be reckoned with next year. They're just going to build off their momentum. They're going to have definitely a strong draft, too. So, yeah, I definitely drinking that Kool-Aid. I definitely can say that. And I feel like it was well-deserved.
All right, I should have said this first. Todd Gurley rushed for 1,305 yards. He led the NFL in yards from scrimmage at 2,093, and he had a total of 19 touchdowns. So, Jay, what you think of this? You think he deserved it?
I think he deserves it. But the only thing that kind of threw me off was the fact that Tom Brady was the MVP. So usually they go hand in hand. Like in NBA, you have the scoring champion. More than likely, sometimes is the MVP of the league. Most of the time, you know what I'm saying. When you go to hockey, the scoring leader is the MVP. So I don't know. It's one of them things. But when you look at, you just ran Todd Gurley numbers down. That sounds like he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with him being offensive player of the year, but when your MVP is the offensive player, it's like, okay, like why he wasn't offensive player of the year and MVP, like, but I mean, I ain't hating on Todd Gurley, like he was in the MVP race, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, congratulations to him.
Well, Tom Brady threw 32 touchdowns and have 4,577 yards to help him win his third MVP. I don't know. But, all right, let's get to Defensive Player of the Year is another Rams player. Aaron Donald led defensive fight for the Rams with 11 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. Yeah, that's what he got. 4th Pro Bowl and 3rd straight All-Pro team. Yeah, what y'all think of that? Did he deserve it, Jay?
What was the question again? I'm sorry, my daughter had texted me. I'm sorry.
Look, if you can't listen and read, then we got a problem. Like, no.
My child was texting me, girl.
I said, listen and read. Anyway, I've been reading this whole show. I've been reading the whole show, and I've been listening. I can.
I'm sorry, brother.
Can work separately.
Hey, I'm about to give you some props. I was just about to say that. I was about to say you're a woman. You're a mother. That's good. I ain't shit. I wanted to ask you. Okay, I'm listening. You got 100% attention. I'm here.
This is so off topic, but like this, I play dominoes a lot with this older guy. He probably like 80, I think. And we be over here playing dominoes, and he be like, Monique, how you barbecuing, washing dishes, doing hair, and playing dominoes? I say, well, I mean, it got to get done, don't it? Like, well, I'm not gonna stop doing it because it got to happen. We got to eat. You want to eat, right? Okay, I got to finish this hair because I'm getting paid. I want to beat your ass in dominoes, so I got to do that. I was just saying, I got to wash dishes because we got to have something to eat off of. I got to make it good. But I said Aaron Donald is the defensive player of the year with the Rams, and this is the quick note. This is the first team since the Ravens, Ray Lewis and Jamal Lewis in 2003 to win defensive and offensive player of the year in the same season, same team. But Aaron Donald with 11 sacks and 5 forced fumbles. This is he made his fourth Pro Bowl and third straight All-Pro team. Do you think he deserved Defensive Player of the Year?
Oh, hell yeah! I don't think it was nobody else to really rival him like that. Like Aaron Donald been the best defensive player in the NFL for arguably the last 3 years or so. Since he was a rookie.
Agreed.
So he's well deserved. Like it was overdue. Like he's supposed to be 2-time right now, Defensive Player of the Year. Like dude is amazing. He's unblockable. Like can't block him. Like usually interior linemen are the kind of the easiest to block because you can double and triple team them. And he finds a way to be elusive. I don't know. To be a big dude like that, like they can't get him. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't find him in some spots. Like he's too quick. He'll hide himself within the defense, and before you know it, he emerges, sacking the quarterback or hurrying the throw or something. So, yeah, Aaron Donald is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal defensive player, and he should have been a Detroit Lion. But okay,
you know we don't get good players here. Oh, I mean, yeah, I said it. Okay, so Offensive Rookie of the Year is running back Alvin Kamara. I hope I said that right. He got 728 yards rushing plus 826 yards receiving, 81 catches, averaging 97 yards per game from scrimmage. And he scored 14 touchdowns, including a 106-yard kick return. All right, now. Get it, rookie. All right, so what y'all think of Alvin Kamara of what team is this? The Saints. What you think, Jay?
You know what? I had a difference of opinion on this. I thought, who was that goddamn rookie? Thank you. I thought that should have been the
rookie. He had 21 votes. He had 21 votes, and Alvin had 28. He had 21 votes, and Alvin had 28 votes.
Right. Yeah, I think it should have been Kareem Hunt. But I think that the reason Alvin Kamara probably got it was the fact that he's playing with Drew Brees and Mark Ingram was there too. Mark Ingram was Pro Bowler. So he was, sharing snaps, sharing carries with this dude. So, and his numbers were still good, but Kareem Hunt he was phenomenal this year. Like, and he was a 3-down back. he wasn't really sharing carries with nobody like that. Like, he was a full-time running back.
Yeah, Jay probably got lost.
His technical difficulties. Well, when he come back, so what you think? You think he deserves?
First off, I have two of them to talk about because I definitely got skipped on Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald definitely deserves that as the defensive player of the year, and just to make it short and sweet, I feel like he was better than J.J. Watt the last few years. I think he took J.J. Watt's title as being the best all-around defender. And, yes, that's why I feel like Aaron Donald deserves that award. But now Jay back on, I'll let him take over where he left off at. Just want to let you know you missed me, Monique.
I apologize for that. I try not to skip you, Hugh. I skip Jay, but I try not to skip you, Hugh. You know that. I try my best to make sure I don't skip you. But Jay, on the other hand,
he did skip you. Right. I thought you had went. You already on the last one.
Oh, no, not with Aaron Donald. No.
My bad, Hugh. It won't happen again. But Jay can get skipped. Just know that. I would apologize for skipping you. Jay, go ahead, Mr. Technical Difficulty.
Oh, I was kind of done. I was wrapping up, but yeah, I was saying I think it should have been Kareem Hunt. But I mean, Kamara. I mean, you can be like, okay, I understand. So congratulations to him for winning.
All right, Hugh.
For what they did as a tandem has never really been done like that on the big stage. They both, of course, are getting like close to 1,500 yards, and you have more of a power back in Mark Ingram. He could catch the ball, but then you had Kamara, who was just a trick of all trades. He was good at just running the ball. He was explosive. You just had to give the ball to Kamara, and he would just go crazy. Actually, we gotta definitely look at it too, where if it wasn't for the emergence of Kamara, they would have kept Adrian Peterson. They just looked at it like, man, we got, Mark Ingram, who's our lead back, and we got, this young rookie that came in and who's very explosive. They felt like, yeah, it's time to get rid of Peterson, and they got compensation for it. So I feel like that was a good idea, but when it came to Kareem Hunt, that guy took the lead by storm, and the reason why his numbers wasn't as good as Kamara's is because of the fact that Alvin had Drew Brees. He was going to get you the ball whether he was passing it or he was going to dish it off to you, and he had a power back. So it was like pick your poison. But when you look at it with Kareem Hunt, his problem was at some point in time, Alex Smith just wasn't meshing. He depended so much on trying to throw the ball and prove the point that he wasn't giving him the running rep that he deserved. And we've seen that, this year. And that's the reason why his numbers went down. But if he would have kept his numbers up and would have continued to go with the formula that kept them winning, I still feel like, he would have got that award myself. But, yeah, I took my hat off to him, though, because I've been really bored out this year. It was fun seeing him and Mark Ingram play together.
All right, so Defensive Rookie of the Year is also a Saint, and his name is Marshawn Lattimore. He intercepted 5 passes in his first year at Ohio State and led a defensive turnaround. And oh man, okay, go ahead, Hugh. What?
I had to boot because you said Ohio State. Really I definitely apologize. But
player.
Lattimore's a beast, man. I liked him, and I thought that was a good pickup. And that was the reason where, Jay, we talked about it ourselves. I said, yeah, they didn't give Malcolm Butler. They probably won't need him now. We laughed about that.
Right.
We felt like how good of a fit that he was going to the Saints. It was exciting to see how well he flourished. They saved that team Nobody felt like the Saints was going to do anything when they first came out 0-2. And it just was the point where we was like, oh, man, Sean Payton's in trouble. That defense, man, I don't know, man. They should definitely give props to that defensive coordinator, too, because ever since that incident, the 0-2 slip-up start, they've been lights out. It was like a defensive slip-up that cost them going to the second round or going to that championship game. But at the end of the day, I still feel like that defense was lights out, and it all started with him and having trusted him on that end of the field. So, yeah, he definitely deserved it. And no, I don't see nobody else who's more deserving of this award on defense as a rookie neither.
All right, well, this is another first since 1967 where two rookies of the same team have got, offensive and defensive of the year. And can you guess what team did it? What team of the people were on that did it in 1967? Just take a guess, either one of y'all.
I'm going with the Lions.
Yep. Mel Farr and Lynn Barney did it in 1967. Ain't that so sad?
67, where
sad.
We got 67 to come back to life. 67 beat 2018 for us.
Right. Hey, Lions. All right, we're going to do this last Coach of the Year. Belichick got one vote.
The bastard.
The Coach of the Year was Sean McVay. Oh, dang, he's not even 31. Oh, well, he was hired his 31st birthday, I might say. He's the youngest head coach in NFL history. That's what's up. Go ahead, youngster. Age ain't nothing but a number. Again, old or young. So, yeah, he coaches the Rams. What y'all think of that? You think he deserved it? Hugh?
Yes, because he hit the league by storm. You seen his age. He's barely 31. He was one of the youngest coaches that came in and actually did this good. I liked him in college. But then he comes here and did the exact same thing. They went from worst to first, and a lot of it was because of the offense struggled so bad. We always looked at it. I don't know if anybody else did, but me for sure, always used to have LA Rams as one of my team's heavy rotation in the fantasy football. Because the defense was going to make noise, but the offense was kind of stagnant. And now you get him, Sean, just come out of nowhere. When Sean McVay came, he basically put the high power to the offense. And I think that was a good award because he already had an informant on defense. They just had to tweak the offense. And he did a really good job, with Jared Goff because now you have a really good coach, and then he's going to help out the quarterback, and the defense already did their thing, too. So I just really feel like this is a good marriage for the L.A. Rams for a long time. So, yeah, I definitely feel like it was well-deserved. But, he's going to have to keep that magic in a bottle for the second year because, the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. So if he don't do that well coming up the next season, they probably won't really say too much like, oh, maybe he just had a little bump in the road. But you give it a third year where he don't do good, yeah, he'll definitely be gone. They give more chances to the white quarterbacks, but I'm just saying. And when it comes to the coaches and all.
Jay?
Oh, it's just short and sweet. Yeah, he's supposed to be Coach of the Year. Great job he's done with this team, and they were one of the top. I think they were the third seed. They were the third seed, and the NFC this year. So, I mean, you can't get no better than that. Then he's young. He got a young quarterback. He got a young running back. He got a young, good defensive player. Like, everything on there is young. They can build from that, too. So, He's in a great situation, and I'm glad they did get us to him. They did give him this whole thing. Doug Peterson could have won it. I feel like he could have got it, and I just found out during the Super Bowl 9 years ago he was a high school football coach. Wow. He was a high school football coach 9 years ago, and that speaks volumes. like that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? So
he barely was an adult.
Yeah. So hey, but McVay, yeah, he totally deserves it. Totally deserves it.
He got 35 votes. Doug Peterson got 1, and like I said, Bill got 1. All right. So, football, we will miss you. Guess time to talk about basketball. Oh, and back to the Eagles celebrating. They said that this is picture or video of the guy tipping the car over. They say he's the son of a Villanova basketball coach or something like that.
Jay White.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So let's talk about LeBron James, and should he ask for a trade? He has a no trade clause. Can somebody explain that to me? What that means? No trade clause.
He can stop a trade. Like how Blake Griffin got traded to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron could have been like, I don't want to play in Detroit, so you can't trade me. You know what I'm saying? To Detroit. Like,
okay.
They can trade you where they want to trade you, whatever the best deal is. But he has a no trade clause, so they can't do that. They can go to him and be like, hey, where would you like to go? What would you like us to look at for you? And then you could waive your no trade clause, and we'll, send you there where you would want to go.
Okay. All right. So He has opted not to use his. He's saying he's staying here. He's staying not here, but he's staying with Cleveland. At least to the end of the season. But do y'all think that he needs to? He should ask for a trade? Hugh?
I definitely feel like right now he can't cop out now, but he don't really have nothing to prove. Not only did he stay committed the first time for the 7 years of the contract before they burned his jerseys and all this crazy stuff, he came back to Cleveland to win in the championship. He has nothing else to prove. If he wants to, he should be able to. I don't think they should try to force anything amongst them and look at him like he's being the trader. But, yeah, I feel like if he wanted to be traded, yeah, he definitely should get that option because I don't know what's going on. It's very dysfunctional right now in Cleveland. And now Isaiah see how it is when the shoe's on the other foot. He was in Boston enjoying life. No problems. They all love and got along with each other. Now he's with this dysfunctional family in Cleveland, and now Kyrie got the biggest smile in the world on his face. So, yeah, it's just the organization right now and just how things are ran. And definitely when you got the player being a player and GM, that's why things are getting out of hand over there, too.
Yeah.
A lot of it you can't just look at and say it's just Tyronn Lue or any of those people's fault. You got to look at LeBron, too, because he's part of it.
Sure. Jay, you think he should ask for a trade?
See, this is why I think he should ask for a trade. And this is why I think Dan Gilbert should call him in his office and be like, LeBron, let's kick it right quick. Like, for real. The last time, well, actually, you remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about will LeBron stay in Cleveland or will he leave or whatever? I said he'll stay. And this is the reason I think he's going to stay. He burned the hell out of them last time. Okay? He burned them bad. Now, I don't see that happening the second time where he just like, all right, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get nothing for LeBron. Like, you go back down to the bottom of the barrel. You're a horrible team again. You don't have Kyrie no more, and you ain't got LeBron. You're done. You're done. You're rebuilding for the next 10 years probably in Cleveland. So, if I was LeBron or Dan Gilbert, I'd be like, look, let's come to some sort of agreement, man. If you're going to come back, let me know if you're going to come back. I'm not going to leak it or nothing like that. Just, if you're coming back, it's between me and you. If you're not, waive your no-trade clause. Let me get you to a place where you want to be, and we can get some compensation. You know what I'm saying, for you. So we won't be just left in the dust like this, like last time. Because you know how ugly it was last time. So just for that reason, I think that's why LeBron should try to ask for a trade and get traded. But I think he's going to stay. I think they're going to work it out in the offseason. They ain't got no hope this year to get to the finals. They cooked to me. I see them going to the second round. Probably could sneak into the Eastern Conference Finals. But I don't see them getting past second round of the playoffs this year with how they're playing and their chemistry level. So if I was LeBron, I would ask for a trade in the best interest of himself and the team. Or tell Dan Gilbert, hey, I'm going to leave, but I'll pick up my player option and we'll do a sign and trade type deal. That's the only thing I can see.
Well, okay, quick question. What team do you think, if he decided to, if you can send LeBron to any team, right? What team would you send LeBron to, where he would be a good fit in it, you know? Jay?
I would probably think about Houston. I would send him to the Western Conference. Houston has some people over there, has some pieces over there that I think could help Cleveland out in the long run, where they can build off of, where they wouldn't be in the dumps for years. You know what I'm saying? They can look up and get them a nice draft pick and, you know, build up on that, plus the pieces they can get from Houston. Then you can get you a couple of draft picks. You know what I'm saying? So I would do Houston or I would do San Antonio. Them the two. And he would be going to the Western Conference.
You?
I definitely like the San Antonio situation due to the fact that it's just a winning formula, and that's a really good team. They don't have super duper great talents, but when you got LeBron and, you know, just a team around him who has a will to win and have Greg Popovich, man, and that will help too with the whole Kawhi Leonard being injured, man. That will be a big boost to that team because without Kawhi, that hurts them right now. But to have him play, you know, they won't miss a beat. So I definitely still feel like that'll be a great, you know, a thing for him or a trade for him to go over there to the West Coast. And if not there, I would like to see him stay in the East with a young up-and-coming team, which got a lot of talent over there, too, that'll get people scared, the Milwaukee Bucks, because I would love to see him and Giannis play together. I'm just wishfully thinking. I think that'd be insane.
All right. All right, so let's talk about John Wall. So one of John Wall's teammates, Martin Gortat.
Yeah. Tater tot.
Hot tot.
Yeah, there we go. Tater tot sounds good. Basically said, you know, like, we out here, you know, we're doing good. Basically without him. He got a little upset. You know, I'm a team player and I get at least 10 assists a game. If it wasn't for me, he want to get these points. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm throwing him the ball to score and all this other stuff. I don't know. I don't know much about John Wall, but that's who Draymond Andre Drummond replaced in the All-Star game, right?
Yes.
That's okay. So, yeah, what y'all think about him? What you think about is his team throwing shade or just speaking the truth?
Who first?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I actually think they're being truthful. I don't even think you can call it shade, but I think they're being honest. A couple of years ago, Bradley Beal and John Wall were at each other's throats, like they were at odds ends with each other. They were upset at something, like they couldn't play together. They couldn't get along. And I think it's because Bradley Beal likes a certain style of play. John Wall's very aggressive. Like he's fast and aggressive. Sometimes he can get out of control. He's like I want to say a poor man's Russell Westbrook. Like he's at it all the time. Like he's just an energizer bunny, just up and down the floor. Don't think to pass. Really get his teammates into the flow of the game or whatever. So Bradley Beal started this stuff. He came out, said straight up, like they asked him, how's everything been going since John Wall been out? You know what I'm saying? Y'all been on this winning streak or whatever. And Bradley Beal was like, yeah, like we've been playing better. Like everybody eats. Everybody been eating, since Wall been out. So, the ball moves good and all this stuff. And that's how we've been playing. So I think they're telling the truth. Gortat had said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He threw some shade, but I want to say some truth at John Wall on Twitter or whatever. So John Wall's salty right now. He's real salty. So yeah, I think they're throwing more truth than shade.
All right, Hugh.
Yeah, I don't think his teammates too much care for him. And like Jay said, when they all started with Bradley, Bradley Beal, then you're hearing Marcin Gortat talk about it, and they're looking at it like, man, we playing really well without him, and we don't really need him right now. He had that deeper persona coming from Kentucky. I think he had a lot of issues with the coaches and a lot of the guys who were in the front office. The way he was carrying himself, he was doing Dougie when they were supposed to be introducing the players that came out, and it was like he had a lot of growing up to do, and I still feel like a lot of that's still going on right now, and that's why I feel like the players said what they said, and I definitely agree. I feel like they'd be better off getting another point guard over there who can mesh with the team rather than have John Wall, who has been definitely getting to the point where the chemistry's not there with the team as a whole. So, yeah, I definitely can agree with that.
All righty. Well, John, get over it. Either change how you are or just expect the shade. I mean, the truth. So, last but not least, the Pistons. So, everybody knows that Blake, the Snitch Griffin, came to Detroit, was traded to Detroit. He did not have a no-trade clause because he is not as big as LeBron James, so he does not have that option. So he came to Detroit, and they have been on a 4-0 winning streak since he got here. Now, do you think because of that, because the Pistons are like the Lions in a sense. They don't do good, and they're like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
really.
They do good, and then they just go back to the same old Pistons, and it's like, what's the Christmas tree happen here?
They definitely want more championships, so we could say that.
Well, yeah, but when was the last time?
2004 when the Pistons won.
Oh, so 14 years ago. It's like it's too far in.
When the last time?
You know what I'm saying? So
when the last time the Lions won a championship?
It's 66, 7, 60 something.
No, 50, 1957.
50, yeah,
and then was
either way it goes.
And it was championship.
It wasn't even NFL then. It wasn't even NFL then. So it don't matter. It's still, I mean, it's different sports. And it goes back to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even watch the Pistons. Like, I was on Facebook and somebody was like, well, I guess I'm going to check out the Pistons game. I ain't watched one in, I don't know, in like years. Let me see what Blake Griffin do. Like, because they know you get your hopes up and then they just let you down again. But do you think that this is a sign that people should start taking the Pistons a little more serious in the East? Their record is 26 and 26. They're 500. They ninth overall. They 5 games under the Cavaliers, which is, amazing. But do you think they should be taken more serious in the East, Hugh?
They will be taken more serious due to the fact that when you look up, and you see a lot of teams is being hurt right now. John Wall's hurt. Cleveland right now is in a debacle, and it's just like the opportunity is there. The door is open for the Detroit Pistons. They just got to play well on out. This right now is going to definitely depend on my man keeping his job, too, Stan Van Gundy. At one point, I was like, will Blake Griffin be a factor into how well we play, or, is it worth us giving away all this stuff for him? Now you look, he's meshing really good with Drummond. They're playing good. The players that they even got in this whole pit, the ones I didn't even think was going to be a factor, they're having a ball here in Detroit. They get along, they're meshing well, and the team chemistry is great definitely between Drummond and Blake. They, you can see they're having fun again as the Detroit Pistons players, and I think that's what we was missing, and he was a big attraction. Now, a lot more people want to go to the games because he's here, So, yeah, I feel like that was good for us, and I feel like it's going to help us out. But, yeah, we definitely should be taken serious. And with all the injuries in the East right now, and I really think that we can, slip in to like a 5th, 6th seed if they continue to play well.
All right. Jay?
I think they should start taking the Pistons seriously. I've watched all the games that Blake has played so far, and he meshes very well with the whole team, not just with Andre Drummond or whatever. And then Blake is very coachable too, and you see him in the system now. And he looks very good in the system. Very, very, very good. There's not a lot of pressure on him. It's not just a lot of lobs in the air and, to DeAndre Jordan and stuff like that. They actually run plays now. They're making him an actual playmaker to the point where he's making plays for other people, creating space for others. So I think that people need to take notice. And I do think the Pistons will probably end up in the 6th spot in the East when it's all said and done. I don't think Miami gonna hold where they at right now, nor Indiana. So I think that they're gonna move up. I think Philly and Detroit are gonna move up in the rankings over those 2 teams. But yeah, I think Blake has brought an excitement, like you just said, has brought a certain excitement to the Pistons organization. Now, I don't think they're going to get to the playoffs and start balling out, and you know what I'm saying, like win a championship or something. Like some dude was saying on the internet, and I'm like, dude, just erase your whole Facebook page for that. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I really feel you know what I'm saying, the Pistons are a threat now as far as competing in the middle pack of the East. Like I said, I think Cleveland's still there just because they just have LeBron, period. Like, they got LeBron James. So they're still there. Toronto's playing very good basketball, almost as good as basketball as Boston right now. Boston's playing great basketball. Too. So, I mean, Pistons are right there. So, they should be taken seriously.
Well, good luck, Pistons. I don't watch basketball. Oh, wait, I got to start watching basketball because I don't have nothing left. Football is gone until college football comes back. Oh, no, because women's football starts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
About the lingerie league?
Yeah, that's coming on in the hot one.
See? Now, when we go to this, now if y'all can make it on March 1st to go to the Detroit Dark Angels fundraisers and meet and greet at Mongolian Barbecue in Dearborn, and if anybody's interested, you can go to Beyond the Bleacherz Facebook page, and I will post the flyer you need to take in there with you so that they could get, you know, their money off of it or whatever. I want y'all to say that to these women football players that's right there in your face and tell them that they not, the only football y'all go watch is the lingerie league. I want y'all to say that to them. I want y'all to your big boy. I want you to make sure y'all got your big boy underwear on, not your underoos. Put on your boxer briefs or your boxers and tell these women that. Okay? I want to see it.
It's facts, though.
I want to see it happen.
It's facts. It's facts.
I want to see it happen. I want y'all to tell them it's not real football.
We didn't say that.
It's high school football.
We didn't say it wasn't real football. We just said the football.
High school football.
You see how mommy put words in our mouth?
You're saying the football.
Y'all said it's like watching a high school football game. Y'all said it's like watching a high school football game.
It is.
We gonna watch what we like to watch. So we like watching lingerie football.
Real football.
Watching lingerie football. I said that too. Watching lingerie football is just about the same as watching like a little pickup game off the street. It's not what we're used to with that. They just have naked.
Well, we're not used to an orange president, but we got one. We're not used to Bruce Jenner being Caitlyn, but he's I'm just saying, things happen. You weren't used to being a dad until you became a dad. I'm just saying.
Mommy, give me making no sense over that fool.
I am. I'm saying. You said it's not what y'all used to watching. You do a lot of stuff you're not used to doing till you get used to doing it.
This is great marketing.
What
does this have to do? What does this have to do with anything with the women's football?
Go and support in Detroit and support the Detroit Dark Angels. Just saying, y'all act like it's not what you're used to doing. You got to get used to it. You got to do it in order to get used to it.
We can't watch it. They don't put this on. Why do you think they put the lingerie football league on TV? But not this type of football league on TV.
That was a branch. That started as a halftime thing gimmick for the NFL to get more women to watch the NFL. That's how that started. The NFL was right there with them. That's why. Because the NFL was attached to LFL.
But I'm saying, you got
so that it wouldn't be as sexy. I mean, they still in underwear, but they in boy shorts instead of bikinis.
But I feel like with the lingerie football league, I feel like that is like one of those leagues where almost like the arena football league, pretty much. I mean, they play in arena, but it's like the arena football league. Like it's not traditional football. You know what I'm saying? It's like a special attraction. I think it probably should be on the Playboy channel somewhere. But Okay, but I'm saying, why about now we don't have a WNFL?
Yeah. You have the WFA, you have the IWFL, you have the LFL. It's a lot of women's football leagues out here.
You're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying why they don't have. Why it's not on TV where we can actually watch it? Because I can't watch it. I can't get to every game because they play at like high schools. So we can't go to every game.
You can go to
but I can watch. I can watch a lot of.
We should go.
I can watch a lot of WNBA games on TV because they're on TV.
Right? Is it still on TV? I didn't know it was still going on. I'm sorry. I didn't know WNBA was still out there. Good job, lady.
Put them in some boy shorts and see how much their viewership
go back up. Yeah, some of them when they strap
some of those like
they have to tuck them.
Or some of those compressed shorts. So you'll see what's up. You see the rate spike. You see it go extra good.
It's so sexist. It's so sexist.
Just throw them in
anyway,
you got 30 seconds.
Anyway, we should go to the opening. We should go to the Dark Angels game. I think they had John Glenn. Y'all remember getting beat at John Glenn, don't you? Or maybe y'all got bad memories going out there, huh?
Beat bad, too.
Who did that?
Y'all just get as a kid. John